Hello guys, today we are going to discuss about a very important topic which is being asked during multiple interviews by multiple companies basically. So we are going to discuss about a UI automation framework, building a UI automation framework. So we will discuss it by part by part. So stay tuned in future also, if you want to build your own framework, so stay tuned guys. So we will build this from scratch. And if you are a person who don't know how to build, or if you are not aware what is the skeleton and how we are going to build this one, so this video is for you guys. So first we are going to discuss about our framework and how the skeleton or how the project structure looks like. So that we are going to discuss in today's topic, and we are also give the page object model, like what all dependencies we require, and we'll also discuss about how the page object model will look like. Those are the topics we are going to cover in this video as a part 1. So UI automation basically contains page object model and TestNG XML file and extend reports, and it has basically like SRC main and SRC test. So SRC main, inside that we have a Java, and you can name it anything. So inside a main and inside that ASR, so till that we will be having one base class which contain the base page. So we will discuss like what it will do and all. So then we have a page objects class. So as we are following the page object model approach, so we are having all the locators and action performed on those locators in a same class. So that is known as a page object model. So that we are following, and we are also having the data driven approach, where from the Excel we are fetching the data, and inside the test we are using those things. So our test cases, inside our test cases, we are not hard coding those data. So that is one approach like where multiple MNCs companies are following. So that I have included in my in our project. So apart from that, we are using the listeners, and here we are also utilizing that annotation transformer, which will connect where we are not writing that data provider in each and every test. So instead of that, for linking those all the tests with our data provider, so we are using this annotation transformer. These all the things we will discuss in our upcoming lectures. But just I'm giving a brief intro about this class. Listener class, method interceptor, these all the things we will discuss. And retry field, where we are having some flaky test cases, how to pass those things. And enums we are using, and drivers, we are using driver factory, driver manager, and driver class. So those all the classes will be having their own functionality, how it will, what it should do, and how it should create the data, and how we are storing, where we are storing that one. So we are also using the concept of thread local, so which will be providing each and every different driver for each and every test. So that we are discussing, and framework constants, where we are defining all the constant values there. And inside a test, so this is about a utils and reports, listener, factories, and enums, driver. These all the things will come under the main. So where we are having the framework level design, all those things inside the main Java. So inside test Java, we have a different like if you are using the Cucumber, we are also including a Cucumber inside our framework. So that we will discuss post we are developed our like TestNG Selenium Java project. Post that we are going to implement the Cucumber also inside that same thing. So there we are having the hooks, we are using runner class, we are using step definitions, we will be using, and feature class. So that will come under the resource. So those are about the Cucumber. And for our TestNG Selenium based project, so we are using the base class. So inside the base class, we are defining all those methods or wrapper methods which are helpful for performing those actions, and with wait or some other additional steps, whatever we want to wrap inside a single method. So those all the things will be done by the base class. And login test is basically test where we are writing all those scenarios or all the test cases which we are making it to execute. So those all the things we are writing inside the login test, and we are maintaining the config properties and test data finally. So those all the things we will be including in our test Java. So here we can see all those like what all things we will be including in our page object model, project file, manage dependencies, plugins, and build configuration. TestNG, we are including the suites files and controlling the TestNG tests, and inside the extend report output, so that we are using for the report generation. Base class, parent class, all the page objects, and contains a common Selenium actions like click, send key, and get text, wait, assertion. Those all the things we will be including. Page objects, as I already discussed, we are storing the locators and action performing on that. All those things we will be discussing in our upcoming lectures. So first we are going to discuss about adding inside the page object model. pom.xml file. So here we are including all the dependencies and plugins and properties. Inside that we will be having all the versions related to Selenium, TestNG and Extent Report, WebDriver Manager and Apache POI, which we are using for our test data driven approach, and SL4J for logging purpose. Those are the things we are using. And here Selenium WebDriver we have added a dependency, and TestNG we added a dependency, and scope is for compile. So if you define this as test, then only you can utilize this TestNG inside your test section. If you are using inside the main, then it will fail or it won't recognize that assertion or something if you are using inside a main. So those that you need to make sure. If you are adding the scope, if you are not adding the scope, then it is fine. If you are adding the scope, then you should properly give compile. If you are giving as test, then it won't allow you to use inside the SRC main. So WebDriver Manager, this you can use after Selenium 4. Most of the people are not using that one, so let it be like we can use this Selenium WebDriver also, like a WebDriver Manager, and Extent Reports and Apache POI for Excel reading purpose and use for data driven approach, and SL4J for logging purpose, and Cucumber dependencies. One is Cucumber Java and Cucumber TestNG, and we have a build plugins. So when if you want to Maven compiler plugin, if you want to use Java 11 or Java 21, so those are the things will be mentioned in this group ID and artifact ID, version and configuration and release. Here we have already mentioned like a Maven compiler release, so that will come here. Maven compiler release we are using 21, and also Java project version we are using a 21. So these all the things will be already there in our properties section, and those we are just using by mentioning like dollar and flower buckets. So inside that if you are giving the path, so it will map to that properties which we have mentioned above. And Maven's Surefire plugin, so there we are using the how we if we want to execute those all the things by our Maven command, so then we need to mention inside our plugin which TestNG XML file we are using. Those all the things we should mention it here, then only we can execute by writing a Maven test. If you are executing by Maven test, then this suite XML file should contain that details, like which XML file you want to execute. Those all the things will be here inside this plugin. So this is pretty much about a XML POM XML file and how we are going to execute by using Maven command. And if you want to build those things, what will be the project structure? So those are the things we have already discussed in part 1. So in part 2 we are going to discuss about a framework constant, how we can define, and what all